Hello and welcome to our live broadcast and rebroadcast for today's Asian community. Michael and I today are going to be sharing with you our thoughts about why it's important for this community specifically to learn how to fast long, feast well, and train smart. And we're going to give a little bit of our background and share with you some things that we feel are super important specifically for this community and this lifestyle that we're sharing and creating here. If you're jumping on live with us, we always ask that you please leave a comment in the comment section. Make sure that you are subscribed to our channel so that you will know when we go live and we upload new content. And then also anytime along the way when Michael and I are sharing our thoughts, if you have a thought of your own, we always ask that you please feel free to leave comments in the comment section. The first half of this video will be us talking, and the second half will be us opening the floor to our community so we can share back and forth. And if you're jumping on the rebroadcast with us, which I know a lot of you do because a lot of us, our friends here are coming in from international broadcast areas, please feel free to leave a comment for us there as well. So today's topic is, what does it mean to fast long, feast well, and train smart? And we are going to gear this conversation to this community specifically. I'm going to first share my thoughts as a 53-year-old woman and how I have transitioned into this lifestyle, and then I'm going to have Michael do the same thing for himself. And I'm going to chronicle my life a little bit and think about what I'm saying and how it might pertain to your own life and where you are today and where some areas of struggle might be for you. So when we think about our lifespan and we think about how things are going today, the beautiful thing about the world today and health and medicine and being able to be self-educated about how to take care of ourselves is our lifespan is increasing. So we just saw on the news the other day, was it Hurricane Helen or something like that? Some lady who's 103 years old and winning gold medals in the senior track and field events. And I'm like, I want that to be me. Like, I want that to be me 50 years from now. And if you think about that, that's a big number. Like, I have to repeat or double my life. And at 103 years old, there's a possibility that if I fast long, feast well, and train smart, I could be running in a senior track and field event and win a gold medal. I think that's absolutely amazing that we have those opportunities today. So let's think about how our life has played out up to this point. So for most of us, we grow up in a household where we have other people making decisions for us, and that pretty much holds true for the first 18 or so years of our life. That was the case for me. Then I was 19 years old. I decided to go into the military because I felt like I had no other options and didn't know where to go with my life. And so I spent 6 years in the military. Again, a situation where, yes, I had some flexibility and leeway about what I wanted to do with my life, but I was still pretty much under the realm of whatever the military wanted to do for me, wherever they wanted to send me, that's where I was going to go. So 6 years spent there. Then I got out of the military and I put myself through college. So at 25, I think I was, when I left the military, I started college and put myself financially through college. It took me 15 years of struggling to get myself through college and figure out a way to pay for that myself. At the end of college, that's about the time that Michael and I met. We got married, we started having kids, and then we're like starting life together as a couple over. So that, and now we have teenagers. So our kids are now at the point where they're almost independent. So that's my first 50 years of my life. A lot of that, although it was beautiful and I love looking back at my past and there's nothing that I would change about what I did, there were a lot of times in my life as a woman, I wasn't necessarily in control of the things that were going on with my body. Having kids, being in the military, being raised in a household with parents who didn't have the same philosophies oftentimes about life and health and the things that I wanted to do for myself. And so now here I am at 53. I'm an amazing husband. We have a great marriage. We have this flexibility that we've created in our life. I'm healthy. And now I get to create for the first time the life that I want to live for myself. I want to make sure that I am fasting long so that I keep myself healthy, feasting well, making sure that I wake up every morning feeling fantastic about my day, and training smart so that I'm not hurting myself and keeping myself in that physical fitness level that I want to be at to maintain my healthy and active lifestyle. I have 50 years that I can live out the way I want to live it out, finally. Why would I want to do something that would put a block on that, or something that would stump me, or something that would slow me down, or put myself in a position where I am not in control again? And I don't want to do that. So we know, because we say this all the time in this community, the research is there. For a lot of us, the experience is there. You've experienced the energized sense of calm. You experience your newfound confidence. You've experienced the fact that you know that you can control and manipulate your physique and your well-being and your weight when you figure out how your body responds to fasting long and feasting well, and yes, even training smart. Why are you not 110% committed to that, knowing, when we put that other layer on there, that for the first time in a lot of our lives, we finally get to do what we want with our life and with our body and what we want to plan for our future. And we're not in a position where we have to be limited by anything anymore. Ladies, especially us. I mean, this is the time of life where...
Sorry about that, Callie was trying to get out.
As women, we have nothing that technically is holding us back. We can do whatever we want to do. We can start businesses, we can change careers, we can start careers for a lot of us who've maybe made the decision to stay home with our kids. Why would we ever put ourselves in a position where we don't have those opportunities because we're sick, or because we don't feel good, or because we're lacking self-confidence because we let ourselves go? Don't put yourself in that position. This community of aging people is strong, and we're thriving, and we have every opportunity to create a life that we have always dreamed of for ourselves, even if you're starting that in your 50s.
Growing up for me, I don't even know where to start. She's heard all my crazy stories. I mean, like, we begged for McDonald's. McDonald's was the good thing back then. And we get the Wonder Bread with hamburger with the ketchup on it, and the ketchup would bleed through the bread. And you know, I had a lot of that growing up. And you
lived on ketchup packets playing in the field.
Yeah, we stay outside and play all day. We go to the Ponderosa in Lexington, Kentucky, and we get the mustard and ketchup packets and suck on those things as we were so hungry, because we would just leave home and just stay out all day. So we get pretty hungry with no money. And, you know, we weren't, you know, wealthy or anything either by any means. So our meals were during the day, but my mom was at work, working as a maid. We were, you know, it was kind of slim pickings as far as what was going on, as far as what we were eating. So I probably did a lot of fasting and didn't even know it. But you know, then you progress forward to, you know, in high school, it's all about trying to beef up, trying to lift weights, and, you know, and I know everything we did was wrong during high school. And even as an adult, I mean, like, I spent my whole life eating a bowl of cereal. I mean, cereal was like was my number one go-to thing for breakfast was cereal. And today,
well,
I mean,
even gout, the issues you've had with gout, like, never in a million years would you have connected that to gluten, and that was so limiting to you even 10 years ago. And now here we are 50 or 55, and you don't stumble around the house. So imagine what the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years are going to be, knowing that you figured out that thing that was holding you back just 10 years ago. Yeah,
and as an adult, eating foods that are too rich and the wrong kind of cheeses and everything else, and limping around with gout, you know. And just hearing the word fast, it just terrified me. It's like, I mean, in my mind, it was just a temporary thing. Oh yeah, I could try that fasting thing, like not long term, not as a lifestyle. I couldn't even imagine, you know, where I'm sitting today, that we can do this as a lifestyle, and it's pretty simple. I mean, it's really simple, and you know, and we're going to get into the fasting, and the fasting part is pretty simple too. I think we make it way more complicated than it needs to be. I mean, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, so the reason we like to share these kind of topics here in this community, and even when I talked a lot about this kind of stuff this week, is because we get so caught up, and I don't know if it's because it's how we're conditioned socially. I don't know if it's just that there's an abundance of information, or it's the fact that we haven't dealt with some of the things that we have been exposed to in our past or whatever. But we really need to believe that we can have it all. all meaning health, energy, the physique you want, the marriage you want, the financial situation you want, the job you want, a healthy relationship with your kids if that's, something that you need to work on. Whatever it is, like, we can have it. Oftentimes, what's holding us back from having everything that we want is our inability to take care of ourselves. And when you think about it or you hear that, that seems so, I don't know, I don't want to say ignorant, but it seems ignorant in a way, because we have information available to us. You don't have to be wealthy to go from being sick to being healthy. You just have to take the information that you're gathering and say to yourself, how does this apply to me? And what simple things can I change in my life so that I'm no longer unhealthy? And then go a step further with your mind and your emotions and go, wow, if I'm not unhealthy, what other things are going to be available to me in my life? I get so many women that reach out to me and they're like, I would love to take your course, but I just don't have the money. Well, I get that. We've been at a place where we've been in a situation where we couldn't afford to do extra things. You don't need money to figure this out. You need the will. You need the desire. You need the why to figure this out. Being in a class is kind of bougie. Like, being in a class with a bunch of other women is a privilege that a lot of us are graced to be able to have that opportunity. And I think it's fantastic. That's how I learned how to do this. Is how I learned how to do a lot of things, is I sit in a course with other people and learn how to do it. But we can't continue to use these things as excuses, or to go through a course that you've paid for and not pay attention to the information.
Right.
I still have people who have taken my course that are like, I'm not sure I know how many hours I should fast. What? Like, start with 12. I mean, I don't know if I should, how much water I should drink. What kind of coffee should I drink? Is it okay if I have creamer in my coffee? Girlfriend, you just paid money to take a class to have someone give you the opportunity to test if that's working for you. Did you not test it? I don't know. Can you have creamer in your coffee and still feel the way you want to feel? Can you have creamer in your coffee and still look the way you want to feel? Some people can, and I think that that's fantastic. But most of us can't. And why is it that we, as 50-year-old people, would want to sacrifice creamer for happiness, or creamer for confidence, or creamer for the well-being that we need to go get that job that we've been dreaming about having so we can change our financial future, or whatever it is that you're trying to do? Why is it that the priorities that we have and the level of importance that we place things can be the things that are holding us back from living the next 50 years of our lives 100 times better than the first 50? And I think we should think that way. Like, Michael and I constantly talk about that. Like, we want the next 50 years of our life to be 10 times better than the first 50. And the first 50 were pretty good despite some of the struggles that we've had. But we know that if we're happy and we're healthy and we're centered and we're thriving, that we can have a better second half. And I think that that's really the way we should be living our life. And yes, it does start with our health, and it does start with making better decisions for the things that we're going to allow in our life and then not allow in our life.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I know, go ahead, what were you going to say?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Even in Michael's situation, and we laugh all the time about the fact that, he grew up on ketchup packets. Like, that's just what they, what they did. They'd sell pop bottles. I'm from California, so I don't even know what those are. But, they would sell pop bottles, and then they would take the pop bottles and they would go buy a biscuit at the Ponderosa or whatever, and that's what they lived on all day. And that's great. But the reality is, if Michael wasn't living a healthy life because of his food history, he'd be diabetic. Period. Like, there's no question about it. And a lot of that is just the conditioning and the way he was raised on food. No blame to our parents. They did the best that they could. Our kids have all kinds of complaints about us, and we think we're jamming as parents raising them. But they're going to have their own philosophies too. So it's things that we need to consider. And we need to stop struggling over the small things. We need to stop struggling over the things that don't really matter and start looking at the bigger picture. Don't be perfect. Don't live a perfect life. We're going on a date night tonight, and dang it, we're going to have some wine. And that's what's built into our plan. And we're going to wake up tomorrow morning, and we're going to have our water, and we're going to probably have our coffee, and we're going to get a great workout in. And that's what makes us happy. We're not trying to be perfect. We're not rewriting the ketogenic Bible. We're not redefining what fasting is supposed to be. We want you guys to figure it out and thrive. We want everyone in this community to be happy. We want everyone in this community to be healthy. We want to see you at the senior track and field events when we're in our hundreds, and all be in this community together, thriving and going, God, I didn't know that I could do that at 60. I didn't know that I could start my own business at 50. I started my business, this business here, in my late 40s, you guys. 40s. It's amazing what we can do when we are confident and we feel great and we know what it is that we value in our life.
Yeah, and I think we have to stop thinking like so typical, because like we have that diet mentality. Even with our exercise, we do things based on what we did in the past. And if you could break that, you would just be amazed at how much you can get. Like I'm maintaining 192 with my weight. I used to be a good 210, 215, and that was with thinking I'm doing everything right. So this lifestyle, I can maintain, and I feel like I can eat the things I like. And that's really important to point out, is like, you can eat the foods that you like. Just find them. Just find them and eat them. We eat well. We love to eat. I did a post not too long ago on Facebook of our meal, and someone pointed out to me to go, I didn't know you guys ate. Like, really? We eat. We can throw down. We love to eat. We love food. I love food. I've always loved food. And I think sometimes when you introduce something like, intermittent fasting, you think, well, am I not going to be able to enjoy the things that I enjoy when it comes to eating? I mean, that's what I thought. When I heard that word, I thought, well, that sounds cool, like something to do for a stint, but, for a little while, but that's not anything I can incorporate as a lifestyle, because there's no way I want to give up the things that I like to eat. There's no way that I'm going to give up eating when I want to eat. But when you think about it, when you're just fasting for a certain segment of time, and you're doing a certain thing in that time of you're not like snacking. I mean, we should think back in the day, like you could grab some goldfish and you didn't have anything all day, that you were, you were doing pretty good. But no, you're not. You're like not fasting at all. So if you're fasting right and you get into a regimen of, fasting well, feasting well, and training smart, you're going to find that system is going to get you into a place where you go, well, this is not bad. Because like Diane said, tonight we'll go out and we'll go on a date night and we'll go out to eat, and I don't feel any restrictions on what I'm going to order, what I'm going to eat.
Nope.
Because I'm in that routine all the time. But I will take some caution in like what I look at the order. I don't want to wake up and feel like crap tomorrow because I'm going to work out.
Well, I think there's a saying in like the fasting community or whatever, where it's like, when you fast, you can't afford to have a bad meal, right? Like, think about that. Like, if we're going to eat one meal today, we're going to make sure that we eat a good meal, because we can't afford to sacrifice our time on something that's not going to be good. So, and when you cut down all the unnecessary things in your life, which we have done, you can up your game, right? So when we go out to eat, we don't eat crappy food. We eat good food, good quality food, right? Because we want to make sure that when we break our fast, or we are entering into a feasting opportunity and our body is in need of nutrients, we're going to feed it its best, and we just make sure that we do it within the confines of the lifestyle that we have created.
And even when, I think we mentioned this last week, but when we were in San Francisco, we were going up and down those streets, and me and Diane, we kept looking at these places, these little bakery, what do you call them, like delicatessens, and we're like going, wow, that looks good. Wow, that looks good. We're fasters, so you would think like, oh, well, you wouldn't dare stop and have a pastry or a treat or a cookie. Yeah, we did. There's some places we saw that we were like,
Little Italy?
Yeah, we were like, we were kind of checking them out. We didn't stop on the first go
No,
around.
well, we didn't stop when we were on our fitness walk
No.
because we were on a fitness walk.
Yeah.
But then when we casually walked with our family back down, up and down to the wharf where we were going to hang out, we said to them, hey, we're going to walk through Chinatown or we're walking through Little Italy. If there's a place that you guys want to stop and have something, just let us know. We'll stop, because we weren't in our fitness walk anymore. Now we're with our family on vacation. And so it was totally fine, and we ate pastries, and we had no problem with that. And I know someone's going to see this and they're going to go, but you say you eat keto. How do you eat a pastry? No, I don't eat keto. I follow the philosophy of what that means because it makes sense. When you control the types of foods that you put in your body and you manage a chemical reaction with that control is all we're trying to do here. And so you have to make sure that you build that in as well.
And that's why the keto-like, the phrase that we use in this community, it works.
Right.
It works because we're doing the high-fat, moderate protein, conscious carbs. That has worked for thousands of women in this community. So we know that it's a formula that works. So we can do that keto-like. That's why we never say we're keto, because you would tear it apart. You go like, well, there's no way if you had this many carbs and blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Well, we don't count carbs, we don't count calories or any of that stuff, and we're able to be successful.
And we'll say this and then we'll kind of wrap it up, so it's not like we're just preaching at you. But I think it's really important to understand, even if you've been a student of mine in class or you're thinking of about being a student of mine in class, I want you to know that the purpose of the course and the purpose of me setting up the course in the way I have, with 1 week of fasting, 1 week of feasting, and 1 week of the social and emotional, is to help you build a foundation of creating habits for yourself. There's nothing about that course that has to do with nutritional coaching or anything else really outside the means of establishing confidence and establishing a habit and identifying for yourself what's important for you. That is the basis of that course, and that's why that course works so well for so many women, because I'm not telling you what to put on your plate. I'm asking you to think about why you're putting something on your plate. I'm not asking you to give up things because I'm just like trying to torture you. I'm saying, did you survive? Is there a place for that in your life that makes sense to you? And because I know, like, I don't want to live without French fries. That seems like life's not worth living without French fries to me. And I know it seems drastic, and it is a little drastic because life would still be worth living. But it's like we think along those lines, right? So now I just make sure that I ask the right questions when I go eat French fries, so that French fries don't make me lose a day of my life, right? So that course that I have built is to help you build confidence in making decisions for yourself and going after what it is you say you want for yourself. It just so happens that intermittent fasting is what gets us what we want in this life because of the hormonal balance issues that we have, and we know that balances that out. We also know that we have to learn how to feed ourselves like adult women who are going through chemical changes. I cannot eat like a 20-year-old anymore. I'm not a 20-year-old. So I have to eat like a 50-year-old woman. The beautiful thing is that eating like a 50-year-old woman is amazing once we have the mindset about why it is we need to feed our bodies this way and be kind to our bodies in this way. So it's all a mindset. It's all about creating habits, and it's all about being awake and aware of what it is you say you want, and then identifying why it is you are not allowing yourself to have it. And if you're in your 50s and you're not feeling your best and you feel like you're stuck and, oh my gosh, is this the best it's going to be? You have to make some changes, because I can tell you, and he can tell you sitting here, it can be a whole lot better, and it can continue to get a whole lot better even as we age, if you listen to your body and you do what you say you want and you make it happen for yourself.
And don't think that these imbalances are just imbalances going on with the women. Guys, we have some stuff going on too.
Yeah.
Diane's had some consult calls where she's talked to ladies, and she'll tell them what we went through, and they'll go, oh my God, my husband has that same thing. Oh, he had this, he had the gout, and he had the plantar fasciitis, and he, like a lot of the same stuff, and we deal with all kinds of, hormonal imbalances too. You talk about night sweats, try eating late and then going to bed, or with a beer on you, you're going to sweat. You know what I mean? So we go through some of the same things through too, and it's important to know that there's a lot of stuff that we need to get through, and living this lifestyle can help you get through it.
Yeah, and don't let age limit you on anything, ladies and gentlemen. And I always say my ladies mostly because I know some of us have made some sacrifices in life because that's just the role that we play, and that's fine. But 50 and 60 and even 70 is 82, not too late to create the life that you've always dreamed about having. And you can do it so much easier when you're happy and you're healthy and you have your energy. And so that always comes back to the self-care and the nutrition and how we're moving our body. So let me go over here on YouTube and welcome everybody. Ron, been keto since 2018. I always love it when people know the exact day that they started their keto diet. Congratulations, I'm glad it's working for you. Ruth, 58 and feel better than I haven't felt in 25 years. Girlfriend, I love it. I can say the same exact thing. Shannon from Georgia, I will be in the July course. Looking forward to it. Shannon, I can't wait to have you. Ruth, want to sign up but missed the deadline. Ruth, you didn't miss the deadline. You can still sign up for the July 6th course. So we have one every month. So you never technically miss a deadline. And the link is in the comment section. So make sure you check that out. Or I think it's in the description of the YouTube channel. Lori, Sarah, in June course, can't speak high enough about this way of living. I feel fantastic. Going to see Toy Story 4 tonight. Making my own popcorn cooked in avocado oil. Girlfriend,
Nice.
that's the way to go for sure. Yeah, I always say the rules at the movie theaters never apply to me. Like there's like a big sign that says we will search your purse. I'm like, go ahead and search my purse. I bring my own water to the movie theater. And it's not that I don't want to buy water at the movie theater. I don't want to buy that water at the movie theater. So we always have our own water, and if we take snacks, then we always sneak them in my purse
Plus
too.
it's like $10. Is it like $10 for a bottle of water?
Yeah,
or something
bottled water,
ridiculous?
crappy water. I'd rather bring my own. Okay, so anyways, well, that'll be a whole nother thing. Ruth, what I love is not being a slave to food. Yes, it's food freedom is what I like to call it, where you really do get the opportunity to choose how you introduce food into your life, and I think that that's a very freeing feeling. So I'm glad you're feeling that for sure. Paula, can you better describe what you mean with feasting well? Sure. So feasting well, by my definition, is that when you feast on things that allow you to look and feel your best and live your most authentic life. So what does that mean? If you wake up in the morning and you feel bloated and you feel lethargic and you have brain fog and you feel totally hormonally out of balance, it's your feast. So you have something within your feast that's not allowing you to look and feel your best, but you're probably trying to live your life authentically. So you're probably like doing all the things everybody else is doing. So when you make the connection between what you're doing in your feast and how you're feeling, and you have a good gut check and a good heart-to-heart talk with yourself about why it is you're letting food limit your life, that's when you truly live authentic. And you say, you can say things like, oh, no, thank you, I'm not eating today, or no, thank you, I'm fine, I'm not gonna have that. Or you can walk away from situations that involve food and not feel like a broken woman. And that to me is the true healing process of what we're doing in this community, is feeling like a whole woman, whether or not you choose to eat something. And for a lot of us, we've had to deal with a lot of those food issues and shame and feeling left out, and, oh, we're not going to invite Diane to the party because she doesn't eat the way we eat. I've had that done to me as well. And realizing that that's okay. If you don't want me to come hang out with you because you like to eat that food and I don't eat that food, that's fine. I have a run scheduled in the morning and you're going to be laying in bed complaining about how crappy you feel. That's cool. So all of those things, it's that inner strength about creating a lifestyle around you being conscious about how you feel when you introduce food in your body, and knowing that that's always going to create a chemical reaction for yourself. I hope I explained that well. Okay, what information is shared, provided in the course? How long is it? What's the cost? Sylvia, there's a link. Make sure you sign up on that link, and then we'll email you all the information about it. I thought I was doing so well and then got on the scale and it seemed to have not changed at all. How do I know I'm losing fat? Ruth, the first thing I can tell you is stay off the scale. My numbers on the scale very infrequently change, but my physique always looks different. So I was just laying out in the backyard today in a bikini at 53 years old. I have abs. Do I have more body fat or cellulite than I did in my 20s? But I also have 2 kids and my hormones have changed, and I've really learned to let go of perfection and really identify with what I'm doing based on how I see myself. And I'm the most critical of myself and my physique and the way I look. And if I can wake up in the morning or put a bikini on and go, dang, I look pretty good, I trust that. I trust that way more than I trust a scale. Now, is there going to be some 20-year-old at the beach that looks at me and goes, wow, why is that lady doing it in a bikini? Probably, but I don't care. I still feel really confident and really good for where I'm at today, knowing that I'm living really healthy around food and really healthy around fitness. Could I be slimmer? Could I have less fat on my body? Absolutely, but there's a cost to that, and I don't want to pay that price. So I would say stay off the scale and do what you know makes sense for you to help your body burn fat. That is becoming fat adaptive and learning how to exercise in a fasted state. If the scale doesn't change, do you care if you go down a pant size? If the scale doesn't change and you feel confident when you see yourself in the mirror, do you care? No, you shouldn't care. Remember, those numbers are just arbitrary numbers we have in our head. Let's see, Debbie, currently in the June class and I've already learned so much. Thank you. Debbie, thanks for joining us. And are you doing an IF class in August? Yes, we do one every month. Jean, from the June class, 20-hour fasts are a piece of cake and it's okay to do it every day. Yes, it is. I always say only fast long and clean on the days you want to feel your best. For sure. And then Debbie, I certified as a dance aerobic instructor at the sweet age of 58, just celebrating my 3rd anniversary doing such. Now I'm feeling even better as I'm learning more about my body. Debbie, you are like my spirit animal girlfriend. Congratulations to you for doing that. I think that's great. I used to be a certified aerobics instructor as well. It's super fun, and it's a great way to keep yourself accountable to what it is that you say you want to do, and I'm sure you're setting a great example for other women. So I'm super proud of you. Congratulations on your current anniversary. Ruth, I'm only 3 weeks in, but scales haven't moved. Yeah, that's usually the case. Stay off the scale. For sure. I'm only 3 weeks in. I do feel better, but what am I doing wrong? I would take my class, Ruth. And we start July 6th. I'll teach you all the things that you're probably doing wrong. And I want to do the course in July, but my daughter's coming on July 5th, and there will be lots of eating and drinking. So I was thinking to do the August course. And here's the deal. I always say never put off taking care of yourself and improving your health and well-being. So jump into the July course. You don't have to do it perfectly. We start slow. We actually start on the 6th, but we technically don't even start till the 7th. And then you'll have the information for life. So jump in and then do the best that you can and just take in the information and make it work. But I wouldn't wait a whole month for sure if you're ready to jump in. Ruth, also I have to take 2 prescription medications. Should I take them during my feasting time? Ruth, you have to take your medication as prescribed. Sorry, I talk too much, never get on these chats soon enough and all the questions build up. Ruth, that's okay. We appreciate all your comments for sure, but I would strongly recommend if you're struggling and you're feeling frustrated to jump into the July course, because by the end of the first week, you won't feel frustrated and you're going to start to see some pretty significant changes in some areas that you're looking for. So I would say jump in. Susie, is it okay to eat bad choice foods once in a while? Example, chips or fries in moderation. I personally don't think chips and fries are bad food. I think you have to just pick a version of those things that work best for you. I eat fries every opportunity I can, as long as they fall within the boundaries and the guidelines.
The oil they're cooked in.
The oils that they're cooked in, and making sure that they're actually potatoes and not a combination of a bunch of other ingredients put together to form potato-like things. And then chips are the same way. We eat grain-free Siete Foods brand tortilla chips, and they're phenomenal. My saying is there's no such thing as bad food, there's just bad food for you. So there might be people who think that chips are bad for them. I say that's fantastic, stick to your guns, but I don't think chips are bad for me. And when I start to eat too many chips, he tells me like, hey, if I start complaining about fluff on my body, he's like, how many chips have you had? So that's the only thing I say is if your chips are keeping you from looking and feeling your best, pull back a little bit. If you can eat chips every day and you look and feel your best, eat the chips for sure. Just make sure that they're the chips that are going to keep you where you want to be with how you feel.
That's why this lifestyle is so incredible. Like everybody wants to be able to enjoy stuff that they like, you know, going out and having a beer and having a slice of pizza or something. I mean, like, those are the things that, I mean, you live for that stuff. And if you feel like you can never do that again, it's like, well, why would I want to do a program where I can't do the things that's what we used to hate about diets. Like, we'd be on a diet and we'd like kill it and we get amazing results. I mean, like infomercial results. And then you would, you know, the day you would finish that program, you go back to oh, I'm free. You know, at least with this lifestyle, you're not getting to you know, looking for that deadline, that end date.
Yeah, when you limit yourself so much, it creates the binge purge mentality, right? I'm all in on my diet, I'm all in on my flexibility. I don't want to say bad choices, on your flexibility. So I was in an infomercial. What I had to do to get into an infomercial physique wise was ridiculous. And then as soon as I got done and they took the pictures and they filmed all the stuff.
Let's go eat.
Let's go eat, right? Like I've sacrificed so much to get down as slim as I can and as lean as I can, and they took all the pictures and I sucked it all in and all that, and ooh, let's go ram. And you see that a lot. You see that a lot with like professional athletes, and I know especially professional gymnasts. You hear them like after the Olympics, and they're like, "We're gonna eat cheeseburgers and pizza for the next 3 months." We don't need to do that, right? So just build in moderation. Ebb and flow depending on your seasons of life. There are seasons of life where we give in a little bit more than we do maybe in the summertime when we want to wear shorts or we want to have our shirts off at the pool or for Michael or whatever. And so you can ebb and flow, but just don't go so tight that you create a binge purge mentality or an unhealthy relationship with food.
Yeah, and don't start punishing yourself, because the minute you start punishing yourself, like, well, I already did that thing Friday night, I might as well, you know, eat this on Saturday and Sunday, and then you Monday, you just forget it. You know, I'm just not even gonna. I'm just gonna keep eating crappy.
Can we see what comments we got here on Facebook? Amy, she stole my heart. I want to be 103 and running too. Yeah, okay, girlfriend. So let's sign up for like a 5K together or something when we're in our. I think I'm going to be 103 way before you. So you'll be in your 90s probably, and we'll go run a race together and we'll laugh about this conversation.
Please don't break anything.
No, we won't break anything. Kathleen, sunny Detroit, December 18 grad, and happy to be here. And I want that shirt. This shirt, oh, girlfriend. Me and Michael are going to start doing some videos about some fashion for today's aging community as well. Believe it or not, this is a Walmart shirt. I don't know how your guys' Walmarts are, but our Walmart is like a Target. So
they've really kicked it up a notch.
Let me show you. So this is my shirt from Walmart, and check out, I don't know if you can see, but I have like shorts that kind of match this little dark right here. Super cute, super inexpensive, love it. So check out your Walmart if you have clothes there.
They've really upped their game, big time.
Super fun and easy. Jody's here. Kathleen, so much better able to run my own business and do this international travel now that I'm strong and healthy on IF. Yeah, and I know, girlfriend, you've shared with us how your fasting has helped with your with things like jet lag and what to do to get yourself back on track when you're there and you come home. So that's a great thing that you're incorporating with your life and making your life better too. And who knew that like fasting could help you get through your job international travel demands. So I'm super proud of you for figuring that out. Hey, Patty's here. And then Andy, we do have the power. I have friends my age 55 that think we all are pretty much doomed to have type 2 diabetes and have knee replacement as we age. I think it's very sad. Andy, we think the same thing, and when we go to the doctor, I know for like our physicals and stuff, our doctors almost seem like disappointed when they're like, are you on any medication? Like they'll take our blood pressure and they'll check our heart rate and stuff, and they're like, okay, so what prescriptions are you on? None.
Yeah, I have my doctor tell me.
How's your heart rate so low?
My doctor told me, he goes, this was in California, he goes, yeah, so, he asked me what meds I was on. I'm not on any meds. He goes, oh, but you have a blue blocker heart. I'm like, what does that mean? He said, a blue blocker heart, that means that you're on medications to make your heart beat at that rate. I'm like, no blue blockers.
Yeah, no. Just a young heart, young healthy heart. Amy, I remember being concerned with fasting when I initially started this IF class, but I also seemed to question why I needed to eat so often during the day. Giving fasting a chance has saved me. It started to make sense really quick that fasting gives the time it needs to feel good. Yep. Why not try something different if the lifestyle you are living is not working for you? Amen, sister, for sure. And living fasting living, feasting well, and living, training smart is what feels good to me. Yeah, and
Amy is Diane's cousin, and when we know how much progress she's made, and how, I mean, she's just killed it in this thing. It's just amazing
It's
what
amazing.
you've done, Amy.
Patty, I want creamer out of my coffee because I don't feel it is helping me be my best. Yeah, so throw it in the trash. That's an easy thing for that one. Just don't put it in your creamer. Amy, I know I love good food more now that I fast. I appreciate food and I really enjoy it. Yeah, us too. Like we eat. Yeah. I used to say, what was that? I used to say something like as soon as my fasting window opened, it was like elbows out and like, don't bother me. Like, I'm just gonna eat. And when I feast, and when I fast, I fast. And there's very little times when those two windows blur. Right? So if I'm going to fast, I'm going to fast. And if I'm going to feast, I'm going to feast. And I'm going to unapologetically feast. And don't question what I do because it works for me, and you go do what you need to do for you. And I think that that's really how it has to be, is just find your things and unapologetically just enjoy them for once.
Yeah, and if you eat something that's questionable, man, it better be good. Like when we were in San Francisco, we had this chocolate cookie, and I mean, you could see those people back there working in the kitchen. You could tell they were just like some family-owned, bakery or whatever. And man, that cookie was good. I mean, you could just tell. It was like, if you're going to eat something like that, it better be good. I don't want to have no wasted cookie or piece of cake or something, you know.
Bonnie's here. Hey, girlfriend, how are you?
Hey,
thanks
Bonnie.
for jumping on. And then Patty, woohoo, a bikini. Oh yeah, of course. I have like a really long body. I don't know if I'll ever be able to wear a one piece, but we'll see. Christy's here.
Christy's on
Amy,
here.
Awesome,
hey, Christy,
girlfriend.
long time no see.
Debbie, can the class be taken on a smartphone or is a computer necessary? You know, smartphone works fine. You can do it on the go. You could do it waiting in a doctor's appointment. It's like no more than 15 minutes per lesson. Oftentimes it's less than that. So if you're pretty savvy with your phone, I'd say that'd be the easiest way to take the class. And then Ruth, thanks Sarah, I'm all in, birthday gift to myself in July. Yes! That's how you got to think about it, Ruth, and I can't wait to have you in class with us. Sarah, take the course. Ruth, Diane will explain how to make it all work. She teaches this lifestyle in a way that makes sense, and the community helps too. Awesome. Thanks for saying that. And then Susie, I'm glad our answers for you made sense. So here's the deal, people. We want to all hang out together for a really long time. And here's what I also like to say when we have these types of conversations is, you can live this life once you get your rhythm and you have your maturity in it and you've healed emotionally with how you handle yourself in situations with food. That's the big struggle. When you get all that down and you have your rhythm, what I say is reserve being perfect when something happens in your life you least expected. So my family already knows, and I'll do the same thing for them. If I ever go get my yearly mammogram and I come back and they say, Diane, you have breast cancer, I'm going all in. French fries are out, chips are out, 100% ketogenic diet. I'm gonna go check myself into a fasting clinic for 30 days. I'm all in. And because I've already have this experience, and because I already know I have a healthy body and I have a healthy mind about how I manage my life, I can beat anything. And that's really what we want to really pass along with today's video is, you can have anything, you can beat anything, you can accomplish anything. Just be conscious and pay attention to your body and do what you say you want to have for your life. Is it different than what you're currently doing? Yeah, but you're not happy anyway. So you might as well make some changes and see if those changes are going to make you happy with how you look, how you feel, and how authentically you can be living your life with the people that you love.
And, you know, we didn't really say much about training smart, but training smart, you need to train smart. You need to figure out, like, what it is that's going to work for you. I mean, and that doesn't mean go to, you know, I'm not going to say the name of one of these big gyms, but go to one of these big gyms and get a trainer and, like, have them, like, have you so sore that you can't walk for a week. That's no good. Like, there's things you can progress slowly and take a walk around the block. Now take 2 walks around the block. What was your time?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get around the block? Okay, do it 10 seconds faster. I mean, there's ways to progress. You don't need to spend a lot of money. There's ways to exercise and progress, and, you know, like, or in my case, Diane caught me redlining on the Peloton bike. She would come up there and I'd be like 100% of my max heart rate because I felt good here. I felt good physically. So I'm going to go all out and I'm going to be in the top 20 out of 350-year-old guys. I'm going to smash it. Well, that's not training smart. That's training stupid because you can't operate at that pace and be successful
all the time.
All the time. Right. So you can have your race days, but she's taught me you got to pull back
and train,
and then when you have your race day, you're going to do much better. You're going to do even better. But I thought it was like every day because I felt good here and I felt good here, so I can do it. No, that's not smart. So
yeah, and just because you're a runner doesn't mean you have to run a marathon, and just because you play tennis doesn't mean you have to like go play at Wimbledon, and just, you know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be to the extreme. You can just do things on a level that brings you joy. And also, like I said, I did a live on Instagram yesterday. I gave 5 tips on how to train smart, and one of them was like, find something that you love to do physically first, then figure out a way for that thing to bring you the physique that you want. So I love to run, but running doesn't always bring me the physique I want. I don't get muscular, lean-looking arms and shoulders from running. That's my legs doing the work. So I have to build in a little bit of strength training. So I build in strength training with my running. It eventually helps me run better and stronger. It keeps me from getting injured, and I have a really nice upper body. But I love to run. I don't want to lift weights. So I've found a way to combine the two, and keeps me happy, and it also brings me the physique that I want to have. So you have to find happiness first and not just strive for, oh, I want to look like that person over there and I don't care what they had to do to get that. No, you should care what they had to do to get that. And if it doesn't bring you joy, you're only going to do it for the time frame in which you take the infomercial picture, and then you're going to resort back to what you normally do, and then you're going to be discouraged because I'll tell you what, once you're infomercial ready, you always have that image in your mind of how you're supposed to look and what size clothes you're supposed to wear, and it can mess with you, right? So I wish I could always be infomercial ready, but it's not realistic, right? And so I have to get that image out of my head. So training smart is really all about making yourself happy first, and then doing things that you need to do to get your body in a way that you feel happy with it. And that doesn't always mean that you have to be Sports Illustrated bikini model ready. It just means that you have to be happy with how you look and feel and whatever it is that you want to look and feel.
I still have friends that are squatting 300 and 400 pounds. It's like, God bless them. I mean, good for you. I mean, like, I'm not putting them down in any way, but do you really need to be doing that at, 45, 50, 55, 60 years old? Do you need to be squatting 300 pounds? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, that's awesome that you can throw that kind of weight around, but talk about, messing up your knees and everything else. Like, so just train smart. Train smart.
Yeah, I even had my goddaughter ask me, she's like, oh, you want to run a half marathon with me? She's like in her 20s or something. I'm like, no, my half marathon days are over. I'll run a 10K with you, and I'll meet you at the finish line, and I'll help you any way I can in your training. But I physically don't want to train for a half marathon, and that's okay. That doesn't mean I'm not a runner. It just means I just am over that phase of my life. And so maybe in 10 years I will, or maybe when I'm 103 I will, but I just don't feel like it today. So remember, it's not perfection. It's not that you have to always be the best in whatever it is you're doing. You just have to be at the best at whatever it is you're doing. And making sure that you're happy with what it is that you're doing. So we went way too long today, but we always feel like these pep talks or motivational speeches are just bringing it back down to like the basics. It doesn't matter if you eat 5 ounces of steak. It doesn't, in the big picture, it doesn't matter if you have the cookie. It doesn't matter if you have the bag of chips. It doesn't matter if you have the glass of wine. It's all the other things that you're doing and how you're thinking about it and how you're living your life emotionally and mentally about those decisions that become the big picture, and will really keep you stuck if you're not being really honest with yourself. And that's really what we want to talk about.
It's not the bag of chips, it's the habit.
It's the habit, right?
And that's, we just started a new book that we're both reading, Atomic Habit, and it is definitely the habit. It's not, and people think, well, yeah, that was the one bag of chips that led you towards a new set of bad habits. So it's not the bag of chips.
Mm-mm. It's the habit
It's the
and the
habit.
mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go. We're going out on date night tonight, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. And if you have a date night, go enjoy yourself, and then just make sure you get yourself right back on track tomorrow. And then for anyone who's asking, yes, we do have a July course. It's starting July 6th. Yes, we will have an August course. Yes, we will have a September course. We are here every month, but please don't put off what you know you need to do to help you get where you need to go. 3 weeks, it's a great investment in you. Think about it like Ruth and give yourself the gift of a birthday present, or ask someone to gift you a birthday present of giving yourself the opportunity to believe in you. And that's really what this course is going to do for you. It's going to give you the tools to be effective at fasting long, feasting well, and training smart. But the underlying message is giving you the opportunity to think for yourself, make decisions for you, and build that confidence in you that you can do this.
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll see you guys around social media. If you guys want to follow my fitness stuff, all that stuff is on Instagram, and I share a lot of this mindset that I believe in to help us train smart. So if you're feeling like you're stuck there, or you need a little accountability partner, follow me on Instagram. I'm there for you.